Welcome in, everybody. How y'all doing? It's EVC in NYC. Happy noon hour. Happy Wednesday. Halfway through the week. Well, I guess it's even, is it less than halfway? Because you didn't have Monday. For many people, didn't have Monday. Anyway, welcome on in. Great to have you all here. Let's see. I have a little echo. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so I have a little less echo. Welcome on in. It's Guess the Set Wednesdays. And we got an incredible fun set coming this week, I think, with the Negro League cards. Going to be really interested to see what we get, what players we might have not seen yet that we get a card in the game. Do we get an Oscar Charleston? Do we get some other perfects? We'll definitely get some perfects. But this is what we do each week. By the way, I did create a new emote last night. I did create a new emote, which maybe some of you saw already, because of my fixation with the guy from Dunkin' Donuts downstairs, who puts Dunkin' Donuts on the street for pigeons. I have the pigeon emote now that's available. So, in case I start ranting about pigeons, you can now. That is a pigeon. He doesn't have a first base card. I agree. I think we're not going to get a super Oscar Charleston until later in the system. But I was just thinking about a new theme team that came in, which is the third year running. Jacket 1515 does a theme team of all players whose names sound like candy bars. Yeah, I thought that was a fun one. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you all for coming in from Don't Cut the Bead Blocks. Don't cut the bead locks. Yeah. Speaking, talking, it's a thing that I'm not doing well with already this morning. So this should go well today. Glad to have you all in. It's EVC in NYC, bringing you the sounds, not the smells for you, luckily for you, of New York City. Every now and then during our stream, you'll get sirens. I did create a brand new NYC command. So every time you hear a siren, you can do that now under the weeds and woos. Yes, Don't Get the D Block is now phonics eligible since I mispronounced him. Don't cut the bead lock dragon. Welcome on in. Thank you so much, Don't Get the D Block Dragon, for coming through. Is it extremely low volume? This is the thing I was toying with. Is this better? Because I was worried about having too much feedback, so I reduced some things. Yeah, I fixed Machia Pet. You see, I fixed the bunk. Is that better? I have no idea what settings I have on. Obviously, exclamation professional. My volume is so low. Okay. Is this better? I seriously need to figure out what's going on. It sounds still very low. That's the soundboard. Okay, we're gonna max it out. Now it's low in echo. Excellent. Okay, how's that? On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you enjoying your listening experience right now? Much better? An 8. Okay. An 8, some 4s in there. Yeah, and some people sound rosebud. 3.14. I like pi. Bluster's up from a 4 to a 6. Epic Rocklord's down to 4. I don't have an ASMR stream. I like 42. I'm constantly trying to figure out what to do with this stuff. I've been playing with some different things, but I don't know. I got a 10. Excellent. As you know, exclamation point professional. That's why I am forever. I am forever a 97. I'm just a high diamond. And even that might be pushing it a little bit. Anyway, welcome on in. I was just mentioning we did get a new, some of you know about me and me fighting with the Dunkin' Donuts downstairs that's feeding pigeons with their donuts. And so I have the new pigeon emote for subs. So if you're a sub, you can enjoy that. And now it's too loud. I love it. Yeah, I'll complain I'm too loud in 10 minutes from now. Pigeons do not need donuts. But that's an emote of a donut on my head with a pigeon nesting inside of it. So I thought you might enjoy that just a little bit. There you go. Flying WV Pack, welcome in. Glad to have you all here. Anyway, it's Guess the Set Wednesday, and excited to have you all in here. I'm excited to see what kind of set is. I like going through the Neagle League sets and trying to find some interesting cards, backstories, and talking through some of those. So we're going to do that today. Again, it is Guess the Set, and we have some cards to show. So let's get into it. We've got some stories to tell. It's story time. This is Neagle League Set 4, and there's going to be a lot of bunk. Yes, very much bunk. I'll be sharing some ideas. So again, we're doing Guess the Set. You have a chance to get in and win some packs. And all you have to do is fill out this form here. There's the form, exclamation point guess. That gives you the form. And we've got a couple different questions going on this week, so you can check that out. Let's roll on through. So just to give you a heads up on some updated things that are happening on the schedule-wise. Thursday, September 5th. Tomorrow. Yes, some perfect team debuts. We'll be talking about. I've got some ideas of some debuts because I've been doing a bunch of old guys and they don't get in. So, oh, no black and white allowed for modifying emotes. That's weird. They used to allow black and white emote modifying. Anyway, I'll be on laptops pre-twipped hype stream tomorrow, 11 a.m. Then I'll be doing a little earlier. Rip-a-Pack-a-Palooza will start at 10 a.m. as we get ready for PTCS, and we'll have special affiliate drops just for this channel. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Sunday, we had a good time last Sunday doing, at least I had a good time. I don't know if you guys had a good time. Instead of doing Monday night recap, I kind of enjoyed doing Sunday live playoff coverage. Oh, interesting. That is weird. I wonder if I moved the bunk to something else. I might have moved bunk into followers so it could be available. And that's weird. It's not modifiable. Interesting. Anyway, I enjoyed doing the live coverage of the theme team playoffs last weekend. So maybe I thought I'd do that again this coming Sunday around 3 p.m. Eastern time, depending on schedules and everything else, if I'm not dead from Saturday streams. So that's kind of the tentative decision. No Monday night stream, but I will do a Monday morning stream for the live card update. We just got word the live card update will include player performance through September 2nd. So through Labor Day games will be included in the stat period that you're looking at for these players. And then I'm heading off to Cooperstown. Doing a road trip up north, upstate to Cooperstown next week. Otani 101 incoming. And I don't know yet of what time I'll be doing things. Right now, I'm pretty sure I'll be doing Guess the Set at noon next Wednesday, as always. But don't know yet. That is a funnier modifier. Spore doing the Guess the Set. Tigers fan there. I like it. So the Hall of Very Good, where is right next door to the Hall of Fame. So I'm gonna try to go to both, and we'll see how much my better 3/4 allows me to go to the Hall of Fame museum. How many days during our week upstate? So I'll be trying to do some streams during that week, but again, schedule's gonna be a little funky as we'll be kind of on vacation yet again. So. Just make sure you're following the channel so you can get in on all the shenanigans whenever they may happen. So that's the current updating schedule, a couple things and changes from the normal schedule. I don't know if there's a minor league Hall of Fame. It's a great question, John Doe. There's a Google thing I hear about that has this stuff where you can look up things. But I don't trust it. I just trust chat. This chat seems to be, everything I read in chat must be true. So again, we're doing guess the set. I got a bunch of questions. If you accumulate the most points, there'll be two winners. One winner will win 20 packs for first place, 5 packs for second place. And if we need tiebreakers, we go to the last card that's shown on stream. If it's a hitter, we look at the overall BABIP. If it's a pitcher, we look at the overall stuff. So, you need a number between 60 and 200, probably. And get your entries in before laptop stream or before halfway through laptop stream on Thursday. So you got some time to do some research if you want to do some research. And I try to do more multiple choice. There's only 3 fill in the blanks, plus, of course, which one of my picks this week is complete bunk. So there you go. We did talk about this. The PTCS Championship will be running Saturday starting 11 a.m. Everything starts firing off, and you can win all these amazing cards. If you got in, congratulations. And several of us will be having special drops. So I didn't update this before the stream. Let me see. Exclamation point professional. Let's see if I've got this. I think I need to update this. Yes, update. Update. Okay. So this is the latest and greatest information that I've got, and we'll be updating this throughout the weekend as we go through. But this is how it's working. A Drop-A-Palooza, like the last PTCS, multiple streamers who have qualified, multiple affiliates will be online and streaming. So here's how it works. You'll have your normal OTP developments drops when DishNet comes on at 8 p.m. or so with the finals. It might be 7 p.m., so don't totally guess what time they'll be on, but they'll be doing the finals of the PTCS. You'll get your normal affiliate drops from folks like Tesweegie and AZ Axel. You get 5 max for watching up to an hour and a half. And then if you watch 2 hours of each of us under the affiliate specific drops list there, there'll be up to 6 packs. So you can see all the details there at the top. 15, 30, 45, 60, and then silver packs after 90 and 120 minutes. Now, some of us are going at the same time, so you have to figure out who's going to go in deeper or who's going to go further or not. Some of us, Laptop's going to do a post DishNet stream. So kind of a recap stream so you can get your special drops as he talks through PTCS and how he did in the PCCS. And that's an availability, so you don't have to watch all of us at the same time. You'll at least save for later in the evening to get the laptop packs if you didn't. So you're going through, we'll, try to figure out who's going to stay the longest. And this is also helpful, hopefully, to you all. Here's what everyone has so far qualified. And again, if you want to see this, I created this available for you. It's a Google Doc. I'll be updating it as we get more information. But these are where everyone's qualified. And at the moment, these are the people that will have special affiliate drops. Cheeky, D-Block, myself, Laptop Hound, Max LP80, Minerva, and Spore. So again, plan your day accordingly. I'll be trying to figure it out. I screwed up last time. I got a decent number, but I chose unwisely. Some people went deeper than I thought they would go. And some people crapped out earlier than I thought they would. So I don't have a lot of combinators, and people like D-Block do. So, again, choose what you want. But at least you can come in early before everything starts and get into Rip-A-Pack-A-Palooza as I rip packs across the different teams during the day as well. So we'll be doing both those two things on it. But again, you can check out that at any point. We'll update that as we go through. Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's Saturday, man. When you've got kids and Saturdays are tough. So I get it. Life is important. You're in 7 PTCS this cycle. Wow. I mean, you could do a stream of just data analysis. You could do a post PTCS stream and looking at how many combinators I did a little bit like that once. How many combinators were there at each level? And did the combinator teams do better than the non-combinator teams? Like if you want to do the data analysis post each one of those, that would be a fun stream, Franchise Time Machine. You're not in weekly, but PD weekly. Okay. Da, 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 da. I need to update that. Can I update that? I can't update that. Look at that. Just like that, it's been updated. It won't show up on my slide, but it's the document that everyone can share. There you go. Thank you. There is not one combined minor league Hall of Fame, but some of the leagues have created an official Hall of Fame. For example, the Appalachian League, California League, Florida State League, International League, New York Penn League, Pacific Coast League, South Atlantic League, and Texas League all have a Hall of Fame. Interesting. That's cool. I need to find out where that PCL Hall of Fame is. And the New York Penn League one. That's interesting. And Bezer would like that. So get ready for more drops potential on Saturday. And I don't know, it's hard when I'm streaming and trying to get drops at the same time. First world problems. If you've missed it, there's been some big news in Theme Team land. Glad to have you all in, but some big news in Theme Team land. We now have automated friends lists. One of the biggest hassles. We love doing theme teams, playing a subset of cards. I'm doing a Dodgers franchise. I'm doing a Dead Ball franchise. I'm doing players whose last names start with E, V, or C. So you get an idea. Lots of different things. You can do your favorite teammates of your favorite player. So there's just a lot of different ways to play. I'm doing a uniform numbers one. And so now, one of the things that sucked about it was that you had to update your friends list every week to get in before new leagues, and sometimes you didn't get into it. And so I am so happy. OTP listened to us, and now we've got automated friends list. I have an admin tool. I put everyone's ID in. We get connected. Everyone got connected this week. It was freaking awesome. And so if you want to get in on this fun, you're welcome, Hillside Robin. Listen, I want to thank OTP Developments, right? They're the ones who listened to us. We gave them an idea of what we wanted to do, and they built it for us, and it's freaking awesome. And everyone got connected this week, except for one of my teams, because I put it in the wrong list. So, Stone 220 is 100%. Yeah, I'm going to show off the different ones that we've got this week. It's spectacular. I'm very excited. So, the process of creating a theme team and getting started is super easy now. Right? It's a one-time setup, no longer needing weekly updates other than you focusing your time and making a better theme team. So just come with something you're going to be passionate about. I like Fernando Valenzuela. I'm doing a theme team based on his uniform number. Players who wore 34, 43, 3s, 4s, 44s, or 33s. You get the idea. My better three quarters. And then I made sure all 26 players were in, compliant. All had worn that uniform number range within that. And then I joined the Theme Team Crew Discord, which you can see here. Some traffic already this morning. Nope. Thicord is something different, I guess. And then there is a channel. Once you come in, there's an Add My Theme Team channel. Just go to that channel. There's a form in there. Put in your quick and easy details. It worked amazingly. Everyone got connected. And that's it. And just add TTC to your name. And I'd love if you can change in your forum listing, just put the details of what your theme team is. And that when we roll over you, we can see stuff. So that's super fun and exciting. Our champions last week, the I-75 homers, a Doc Holliday, won in gold. Our first gold so far, the PT25 cycle. So an official theme team. Doc Holliday won that one with players with Atlanta and Detroit roots. The bottom half alphas of Matty Steele won in bronze. It basically it supersedes it. So if you're on the admin list that I have for theme teams, then your team is automatically in there. Friends list do not have any impact on it. So that's how it's worked. All players' last names between N and Z. Matty Steele did that one. Sega and Sonic and Knuckles of Kip, all speedsters and knuckleball pitchers, won in iron. The Possum Ridge Southpaws of Chess Safari, all left-handed pitchers, left-handed batters, plus switch hitters. Righties not welcome. And the Keeping It Brief, Sasuiji's player's last name must be 4 letters or less. They both won in Stone. Had 2 different Stone leagues last week. And the Cowset Defuncts of Brace Fan 57, Xandris, teams currently on the MLB. So the Browns, yes. Orioles, no, for example. So those are some of our winners last week across our different levels. We have, like I said, we got 180. I think we have 183 teams now. And friends lists, this new, friends lists do not work at diamond level because they want to make sure people aren't conspiring to get into perfect league. Yes. So after diamond, there's no friends list stuff. And this tool doesn't work either. So basically, it's gold and below that it works. So we're together, and we're lucky this week that two of our three diamond teams got together in Diamond 352. That's just random draw. But 10 and rookie, two theme teams, theme team leagues in stone, 155 and 220 with 30 and 26. We have 56 teams. Usually we got spread all over the place. This is awesome, right? We have a 30 and a 26. So we have two made leagues together, two in iron, and then everybody in bronze, everybody in silver, everybody in gold got in their own league. So again, cannot thank OTP enough. We've got everyone together, which is awesome. If you want to get in, again, join the Discord. We'd love to have you in. So it's been fun. So let's get to it, though. Guess the set. That's all the news and notes. Let's get into guess the set. It is a lot of stone teams. It tells you where we are right now, Wade Beers. Huh. I don't think Los Angeles Wrigley Field is still there. Depending on 21 when they eliminated the level. Huh. Yes. Yes. If it fills one league. Now, the interesting thing is, I don't think it's completely alphabetical. I have no idea how it determines what goes in what league. I know some people with two different teams that have gotten to two different stone leagues. I know both of my teams are in one stone league. And so I don't, it's not like A through J got through one league and K through Z got to the other. But it is just, yeah, it'll fill one and then it goes to the next one. So it's not like two teams of 28, two leagues of 28. So if we get 60, we'll have two things of 30. If we get 61, that's your one of the friends is a factor or not? I don't know. We can experiment. I should turn off all the friends, clear the friends list on all my teams and see where I end up. That might be an interesting experiment to play with. But again, I'll try to find some more details. But this is fun stuff. Very excited. Okay, let's get ready for Guess the Set, guys. We are doing our weekly contest to figure out what content is coming out tomorrow. And again, these are always fun sets. I learned so much about baseball history from OTP and especially from these sets that I find fascinating. So every Thursday, we get brand new cards and players that come out. Mr. Otta, if you want to resubmit without blanks, I will allow it. And the teaser this week, we return to the Negro Leagues for our fourth installment, which will feature both some of the best players ever, as well as some perfect team first-timers. So it's going to be live tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, 11 Central. That would be 9 a.m. Pacific Time. So I'm excited to see what we get. Here you got Bankhead, Gibson, Buck Leonard, Hoskins, and Benjamin, all with the Homestead Grays. And you know what I love as well of these old pictures? Just like these pictures make me want to get a hat, man. Like, I just really like some of these hats are just fantastic. And I feel like, like a hat's a good thing. But I have plenty of hats, as you all know. But I feel like some of these hats, like I love the dimples on the front of this hat. This hat looks stylish. I love with the shades. There's just some great looking hats. So I need to go to a proper haberdashery, and I don't know. I just like the hats. Those hats are EVC eligible. Yes. So what I like to do is just take a look at the distribution of cards for the Negro League sets over the last 3 seasons. I've been collecting the data and keeping it so I can do more information around these different sets. And you'll see PT24 was the first year we actually had iron Negro League cards. This year we've got more than ever. And if you look at the different years distribution, and PT23, there was a ton of silvers, and that was the most. It was mostly silvers and golds, the smattering of diamonds, and some perfects. And then last year, yes, why not have a Taco Bell haberdashery where all the hats are taco shaped? Just, combine all my things together into one passion program. And distribution this year is pretty even, which is interesting, right? We don't have a really huge one section getting more than the others. So in last year, a lot more diamonds, more than double the diamonds that we had last year. And we had a good, I think, almost 33% increase in perfects. Yo quiero un sombrero con mi Taco Bell. Yes. And I'll have a Chihuahua spokesperson just to finish it all. This picture here is Satchel Paige in Yankee Stadium, which is a joy. And so interesting, yeah, the distribution's interesting. A different Jason, well, thank you. You were our winner of the August Bagels and Schmear, a different Jason. So congratulations on being our leader at the end of the month. You accumulated the most points. Did I have that there? Let me see if I have it here. Let me, I like side tracks as much as possible, as you all know. And the leaderboard for August, the hard work Vermont Tigers, 13 points, just barely edging by the Novi Expos and Rob Deere in the Headlights by 1 point. Rob Deere in the Headlights got like 3 points in the last day to come so close. So congratulations, and we've got our winners so far today, the Oxford Pirates, the Madtown Socialists, and the Atlanta Black Stars of AW leading so far in the month of September already. See, it's also July points. We'll just fix that here. It's really just a... But, oops, not there. But the one thing that was interesting here, I found that Rob Deere in the Headlights has the most points all time, but has yet to win any 1 month. So there you go. Bagels and Schmear. And for those subscribers, there's always the bagels emote. So back to the distribution. Kind of interesting to see what we're going to get today. So we've had a fairly even distribution to date of the cards. And I think it's been interesting going through and figuring out how the cards have come through so far. So I have two questions that were on one of the questions on this set that we have is how many cards are we going to get in the set this week? That's one of the questions. And how many perfects will we get in the set this week? Right? So I'm going to try to help you with some past data. Now, the past, as we know, does not necessarily predict the future. This is why some people, for some reason, call some of the things I'm doing here complete bunk, because they fill out the form without looking at the information and end up doing better. But I poo-poo that idea. I'm trying to find practical information. This is Chicago American Giants team here. So how many cards are we going to get this week, and how many perfects will we get in this set? Now, just to do some historical looking back at things, set 1 in April gave us 28 players and 4 perfects, got us up to 32 cards because we also had 4 throwback cards in the first set. Then we got set 2, gave us 25 players and 3 perfects, including Edsel Walker as a Mission Edition card. Got us up to 57 cards in the set. Then we got a sprinkling of Negro League players in June. George Scales in Tourney Batch 1. Jim Lamarck as a PTMS card. Bill Pierce in Tourney Batch 1. Yes, it's past Bunk, current Bunk, and future Bunk. The ghost of Bunk past right now is what we're doing. Jerry Benjamin. Now, Sammy Harrison was not necessarily a Negro League card, but his era, I think he's in the majors, but he was a Negro League player. I've included him in this number just because I did. But he was part of the father's son. Then we had set 3 at the end of June, celebrating Rickwood Stadium. all the players for the Birmingham Black Barons. We got 4 perfects and 18 cards. Artie Wilson, Satchel Paige, Roy Parnell, and Sam Streeter. So again, how many cards are we going to get in set 4? Up to 81 players. And now we have currently 93 players for PT25 with New League cards or their era. Josh Gibson, Hilton Smith, and Buck Leonard. Hilton Smith, the first 101 Negro League card ever. And we got some others. Biz Mackey, Oscar Charleston came in a couple different missions. I think there were some treasure trove missions. So just a lot of interesting ones coming through. Yeah, we're going to get that one guy. Oh, what's his name? So again, the question to you is, on the form, which you'll see here, again, exclamation point guess. That's not the form, but there's the link to the form. And let's bring up the form. How many cards will we get in the Negro League set 4? If you nail the number, you get 3 points. You get 1 point if you're off by 1. Okay, so got a couple choices to win some points there. And then how many perfect cards will we see this week across the Negro League set? 2, 3, 4, 5, 0? No, we're going to get some perfect cards. So that's the first 2 questions on the form. So get on in on the form. There again is the link. And then we move on to the next thing. Which of any of last year's Negro League stars that had a perfect in PT24 will get a card this week, and at what level? This is the East-West game from 1936 at Comiskey Park. The first, actually this is the 3rd All-Star game. I think 1933 was the first year that the Negro Leagues had their own All-Star game, and Comiskey was also the site of the Major Leagues All-Star game that first year in 1933. And again, you see everything from the Elite Giants, the Pittsburgh Crawfords, I think. Anyway, fun stuff. So I'm throwing some stuff out there. Again, the form, 108 cards around 9.5 hour stream. Yeah. So what I did in the form is I've got the form like this. You've got basically 7 players, and you have to say, hey, they're not getting a card. They get a card, but not a perfect. Or they're getting 100, 101, 102 plus. So you have to choose for each player what it is. So you have a point up to 7 points. Oh, 3 points each. Interesting. You get up to 21 points if you get all these right. I gave too many points, I think, for that. It looks like this in the form. Let's talk about some of these guys. Now, I thought one of the things I'd focus on. Eddie Wonton, how you doing? I did. It was spectacular last night. It was spectacular. The stat last night was a little Dodger tangenting, which is good. The Mookie Betts has been intentionally walked. It was the player in front of it, Mookie Betts, has been intentionally walked 3 times in his career. Once last night, and the last time was twice in 2016. So once they figured out that they shouldn't be walking to get to Mookie Betts, and Mookie Betts let them pay. It was a long stream that Cavacom did. I can't believe he did all that, honestly. So, we saw the Hilton Smith 101. Oh, 16 hours. All of these guys are in the Hall of Fame. So the only Negro League's Hall of Famers, Negro League players that are in the Hall of Fame that threw a no-hitter, Bullet Joe Rogan, Jose Mendez, Andy Lefty Cooper, and Leon Day, and Hilton Smith. We already got the Hilton Smith, so the question, maybe some of these other guys will get something. Now, Leon Day had a 97 in PT23 and a 76 last year, so I don't know that Leon Day is going to get a perfect card. But these other guys on the left, Bullet Joe Rogan, Jose Mendez, and Andy Lefty Cooper had perfect cards last year. Andy Cooper got one very late. Will we get one of those guys this week? You have a choice in that form I showed you before on those guys, what do you think it's going to be? Andy Cooper, Bullet Joe Rogan, and Jose Mendez. So those are 3 guys you can take a look at. And then there's 4 other players who had perfects in 24, have not appeared yet in PT 25. These are just 4 of them. I thought I'd just take these 4 at random. Rube Foster, Mule Suttles, and Willie Wells, all are Hall of Famers. Edgar Wesley, who got a perfect card last year, I think the first time he's ever gotten a perfect card, is not in the Hall of Fame. But the other 3 are. So of these 4, plus the 3 pitchers, will they get a card? Will they won't get a card? What level will it be? Again, 3 points for each answer you get correctly on that. So there, that's part of the forum. Get on in on Guess the Set. You have a chance to win. And yeah, that should be fun. Okay, next question. Now, we're going to see some debuts this week. We're going to get some perfect team debuts. Now, over the last 3 years of PT 23, PT 24, and Perfect Team 25, we've had 270 different players, and yet there'll be new players debuting today. Now, I've gone through and done a lot of bunk highlighting players that had cards in the past. If you've followed any of my past streams, not a single one of those players has gotten a card yet. I've guessed 10 players so far. None of them got a card in the 93 or so far that we have so far. So I decided this week I'm going to spend some time in digging up some players that I don't think have ever had a card. Now, I don't have PT 22 or PT 21 or 20 or 19 to know whether they ever got Negro Leagues cards. I just don't. So I'm just going to go based on these guys have not had cards in the last 3 cycles, the last 3 versions of the game, and we'll see what comes through. But again, it's important to understand we're going to see some debuts, and we've seen debuts throughout each week. So one of the next questions is, what percentage of the cards that we see tomorrow? Let's see if I got that up right. Let's see if I got it in the right order. What percentage of the cards that we see tomorrow will be new players that did not have a card last year? Okay, so we definitely had some brand new debuts and players that weren't in the previous year. So we started off in set 1, we had 9 players making their perfect team debuts per spore. And 45% of the players that we had in set 1 were not in perfect team 24. In set 2, 68% of the cards in set 2 were not in perfect team 24. When we did our guess the set, Dave Klatson was the only one within 5% guessing 65%. So he was close to 68%. And he earned 3 points for that one. So again, this week, if you're within 5%, you'll get 3 points. If you nail the number, you get a 2-point bonus. So what percentage of the cards that we get this week will be players that we did not get in PT 24? In set 3, I was out in holiday in Scotland, I think. So I did not get to do guess the set. But we got a bunch of players who had not had cards before in PT 24. 50% of the players didn't have a card in PT 24. Ed Steele, Felix McLaren, Tony Sampson, Bill Perkins, Dave Thomas, Felton Stratton, Bill Powell, Charlie Beverly, and John Richardson. So again, just looking year over year, brand new cards, and some debuts in this list as well. So let's go through and think about, I'm going to go through and think about some players that might get some debuts this week. This is like pulling needles out of haystacks on this one. By the way, I have no idea what team this is in the Negro Leagues or who these players are. And I tried doing a little research, but not enough spent time figuring it out. So if anyone's got an idea, because that logo is not something I remember for any Negro League team. It could be like a Chicago variant of some point, but it's not the Chicago American Giants as far as I know. If your mind's looking for some, looks like CB. You think there's a B? Chicago Bears. VR Mind's looking for some Memphis Red Sox. He's got a Memphis theme team rolling, walking in Memphis. All players whose names have walk or Sox or are from Memphis. Play one of the Memphis Red Sox. So yeah, I don't know. I was trying to. You think it's a B? I can kind of see the B there. Yeah, kind of. It's like another level, but there's something here too. So I don't know. I This one had me fooled, and I could not figure it out. But I love the photo. What? Oh, 20 minutes of PT live closing. Okay. Don't know if I'll be done. I have not done it, but that's a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna start off with some. I thought let's look at this. There's some guys who've thrown no hitters in the Negro Leagues, and they don't have cards as far as I can tell over the last 3 seasons. Claude Red Greer, 1926, in the Negro League World Series. In Game 3, pitched a 10-0 no-hitter, helping the Atlantic City Bacharach Giants beat the Chicago American Giants. So this is the first ever Negro League World Series no-hitter. And the great thing about his story is that he actually, again, in those days, you pretty much had like 2 stud pitchers, and they pitch every other game. He pitched in Game 2, and he got shellacked in the first inning and a half. So he was not, he wasn't that tired based on the workload these guys had back in the 1920s. And so they brought him back to pitch Game 3. And thankfully he did, because he got that no-hitter. Again, a 10-0 no-hitter in Game 3 of the World Series. As far as I know, Claude Red Greer has never had a card in Perfect Team, could be making a Perfect Team debut. I'm just throwing my hat in the ring that he's one of our picks this week that we get. Why not? I've been so far wrong that anything at this point might work. Another one, again, great name, Layman Yokley. So again, no card that I've seen for him. He had a no-hitter May 15th, 1927, the second game of a doubleheader, pitching for the Baltimore Black Sox, 8-0 over the Cuban Stars. He was the ace of the Black Sox in the 1920s. Of the Columbus Bluebirds. Interesting. I think they were the Columbus Blues, weren't they? That's a good call, actually. See, Farrell, I like that. That's exactly where layman terms come from. Could you put this in layman terms? Nice. Thank you, Spore. The Columbus Bluebirds. Z Farrow was right. Again, I thought I'd take a look at these guys, just some different stuff. So, the Columbus Buckeyes, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking Columbus Buckeyes. So, he was the ace of the Black Sox in the 1920s and 1930s. He was Leon Day's boyhood hero. Some sources credit him with 6 no-hitters for the Black Sox. In 1929, he won 17 games to pitch the Sox to the American Negro League pennant. He was so popular with fans, he was called like a matinee idol. But because somebody wanted to see him, ownership just pitched him all the time and overworked him and may have shortened his career. In 1943, late on, he won 13 straight games and earned a final shot with a league team in 1944 when he appeared with the Baltimore Elite Giants in 1944. And yes, that's how they pronounced it. It was the Elites. The next season, he formed his own ball club, Yokley's All-Stars, and continued to operate the club until 1959 when he retired from baseball and opened Yokley's Shine Parlor on Pennsylvania Avenue in Baltimore. And there he is in front of the Shine Parlor. I love that you can see some of like the baseball memorabilia. Yes, that's exactly why I say PT Elite, Z Farrow. That's why I always say Elite, because I'm just channeling the Elite Giants of Baltimore. And when I do the PT Elite, I have a little logo when they do the PT Elites, and I kind of stole from the logo they have. So And I'm so excited to go to Cooperstown next week. I want to look up some of these guys. I want to look at what's going on with the new leagues. I'm hoping the stores there have some really good paraphernalia and maybe some unis or something like that. Bingo long. Uh, so this is fun. Yeah, I love learning about these guys. So I'm really interested in figuring out maybe a Layman Yokley. Be kind of a fun player to come through. He passed away in I think 1986. Another guy that I had not heard of before. I started messing around and I went down this amazing rabbit hole of stuff. So Doc Sykes had a near perfect game. And I found this site, and I'll talk about this in a bit, but he had a no-hitter at the age of 30 in September of 1922. Again, pitching for the Baltimore Black Sox and beat the Atlanta City Bachrick Giants 2-0. He had, according to here, a devastating spitball and overpowering fastball with a sidearm motion, but then added slow pitches to his repertoire. I was a strikeout pitcher until I learned better. There was an easier way to beat teams than trying to throw it by them. We played the Chicago American Giants, and I don't think I threw one ball up there that would have broken a pane of glass. And he talks about how the manager there, Rube Foster, told him, I think you got something there. And so again, just different parts of his career, different types of pitching, which is fascinating. And this is the first of not one but two associations with dentistry, or as I like to call it, destiny. Dentistry. So he's a spitball pitcher who threw at 3 speeds: slow, slower, and slowest. While he was playing some ball and going to college, he passed the medical boards and became a dentist in 1918, first in Alabama. Then he moved to Baltimore, where he could thrive with more of the practice. And then after anti-dentites. And then after baseball, his father died and moved back to the family, back to Decatur, Alabama. Now, he's also known for some civil rights and being part of trying to get some justice for some wrongly accused youth. The Scottsboro Boys back in 1931 were 9 black youths from that were wrongly accused of rape and sentenced to death in Birmingham. Supreme Court saw problems with the case, ordered a second trial, and they moved it back to Decatur, Alabama. The prosecutor or the defendant wanted to seat black jurors to have a more even, fair juror of your peers. It's a famous trial. Exactly, Booster. And it was an unknown thing. Like, people didn't even they didn't think that black people actually were eligible to be jurors. And Sykes went into the courtroom as one of the leaders of the African American, the black community at the time in Decatur, Alabama, and actually presented a list of 200 black residents that were qualified to serve as a jury. He also, during this trial, housed some of the black journalists covering the trial from the Northeast. And Klansmen burned a cross in front of his family mortuary, trying to go after those journalists, trying to bring, again, it is the amount of adversity and the strength that he had to go through that. So I found all this out on this site. And yeah, that was not that long ago. That was again 1931. So if you want to go check out this article in detail, I put this in. And the interesting thing about this, the Studio Gary, maybe you guys know this guy. I've spent my time going in a rabbit hole with this. And he's a designer that is at a lot of saber conventions. And I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, he actually did the designs around, and I'm going to screw this up. I think he did designs around the whole Baltimore Orioles stadium. And now I can't find it, of course, because why would I find something that was so obvious that I can't now? But baseball. Let's do that. So he's done, for example, if I'm going to do this right, I think these historic drawings that are in Wrigley Field. 26 is invited to bring his passion for talent for depicting the game into the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, where a 5-foot tall portraits of Cubs greats are on permanent display in the newly renovated bleacher section. And so these are just some of those that they have. And again, very detail oriented, period correct Wrigley Field details, accurate to the smallest details, fun stuff there. And then the other one, I think, if I read this correct, yeah. Beginning with Oriole Park at Camden Yards in 1991, I've been fortunate to be able to merge my love of baseball with my talent for art and design. And so all the pieces from the tickets to the scoreboard were designed with the same attention to detail and foresight. Use the philosophy back in 1991 when I designed Oriole Park with David Ashton and company. Still use the belief that philosophy today. And so, again, all these little details you have in the ballpark, the logo here, it right there, in the seating organization, everything else was part of his design. So, I just found this looking up players and found that wonderful thing, the article that we were looking at, and then I I went into a lot of stuff. So I've been if you want to get some time and you want to learn more about baseball history or take a look at some things, this is fun. He's got a couple publications. He's done T-shirts. That he's redone, some of the different logos, but these shirts aren't available anymore. I love this New York Cuban shirt. And so there's some things that might be available. I'm going to see if any of this stuff's up in Cooperstown next week. But I was taken aback, and he was recently, if I know someone here, I can't remember who, was it Machiapet, went up to the Sabre conference in Milwaukee this last month, and he was there giving out little cards. I think, can I find him on Twitter easily? That's Twitter. I can't click on it. Oh well. Again, I feels like this is a little out of date, but some fascinating stuff that I thought was really interesting. So again, as I go down the rabbit hole, I'm bringing you all along, and want to share that with you so you can kind of enjoy as well. Again, I learned so much from OT about baseball, and then down all these other parts, and I really need to spend more time just perusing all the stuff that Sabres got, and some of these people are just amazing. So at some point, I got to get to a Sabre conference maybe next year. I got to check it out. So maybe, I don't know if we're going to get a Sykes. But we'll see. Frank Sykes, if Doc gets a card or not this week. And then another one I've highlighted in the past, which I'm going to highlight again. Moses Fleetwood Walker became one of the first black doctors. His father became one of the first black doctors in Ohio. And then Moses Fleetwood Walker started playing in integrated teams in the 1880s. So he played baseball at Oberlin College. And after he was playing that team, they beat Michigan. Michigan persuaded him to Fleet to join them the following season. And finally, he signed with the Toledo Blue Stockings in 1884. And this was an era that was, again, as a catcher, the only protective equipment you had was a mask. No pads, and you often caught barehanded. There were no pads. That wasn't an idea. People caught barehanded. I remember we were talking about another player who basically, the gloves were so, when he finally got a glove and they were not very, very thick, he'd get a piece of meat and put it in the glove, and his wife liked it because it was tenderized beef that she could cook. Like, again, he only played 42 games before being released due to injuries. You kind of wonder, right? There might be some thing there. I mean, you're going to get hurt. Now, the other reason he got hurt is, again, the racism that existed. He played 5 more seasons in all-white high minor leagues, never playing for an all-black team. His brother, Weldy Walker, became the second black player to play Major League Baseball, joining Toledo later that year. While most of his Toledo teammates supported him, at least one shared the racist views of many of their opponents. He was the best catcher I ever worked with, said Toledo star pitcher Tony Mullane in a 1919 interview. But I disliked him, and whenever I had to pitch to him, I used anything I wanted without looking at his signals. So, if you don't know what pitch is coming, you may get hurt. And Mullane, who decided not to converse with his pitch catcher, even though he called him one of the best catchers he ever worked with, had 383 wild pitches, which is a major league record. I mean, so again, once players had to start playing Moses Fleetwood Walker in Toledo, that's when a lot of players really did not want to play with black players. And that's really when the gentleman's agreement started. So the gentleman's agreement started to not have any black players in the league. And so, we always talk about Jackie Robinson finally breaking the color barrier. But again, before, pushing the boundaries of what was acceptable, in Toledo at least, and acceptable, and Oberlin was definitely, on the Underground Railroad. And so, I feel like a Moses Walker would be a nice addition to the game to kind of recognize his initial template. And I love, again, we had the Columbus Bluebirds. Here's the Toledo Blue Stockings. You see on his chest there, that's a T and a B intertwined. And that looks like, to me, it looks like a Davy Crockett kind of like leather. It doesn't look like a wool. And it's, it's all laced up uniform, which I find fascinating as well. So, well, when Spore is your mod, you may get a couple things coming through. And yes, Mullane was not an isolated case. There was a lot of, again, a lot of racism that happened at this time. And so, you got to give a shout out to those players that persevered and got through and tried anyway. So, yeah, no, I mean, those quotes are crazy, right? Yeah, Ricky Bott would have been unhappy. But, I feel like Mullane got 383 wild pitches. I mean, it boggles the freaking mind, right? He only played 42 games as a catcher. Moving on, another player which part of this was just thinking Spore, seeing a name and going, hey, Wabasha. I can just see Spore going Wabasha, and that's basically like Shar talking. This is like a Shar's favorite player. And again, because it's a thing, Red Sooks, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you being here and part of the crew hanging out today on Guest is Set. Another tie to dentistry. I'm 2 for 2 on dentistry. Isn't that what Elmer Fudd hunted? Yes, exactly. I mean, it does very much feel like a Spore name. So, the Wascally Wabasha. But Shar spells it Rabasha, Riley? Again, reading some things, one of the best catchers of his era, peaked in 1913, hitting 398 for the Eastern champion New York Lincoln Giants, alongside some players such as Pop Lloyd, Spotswood Poles, and Home Run Johnson. A couple other names that you might want to think about for fill in the blank part. Spent 12 seasons with the New York Lincoln Giants, batting in cleanup spot for a decade. Graduated from Howard University School of Dentistry and volunteered for military service during World War I, becoming a first lieutenant in the Army Dental Corps. Came back and played a little bit with Atlantic City Bacharach Giants after the war, but that was near the end of his career. So, again, great name. Great fun name. So, these are, again, trying to figure out what debuts are going to happen. Like, it's a hard one. So, Char's favorite player, Wabasha Wiley, is someone that I thought would be kind of fun to maybe say that we get a card. You could try to put him in on the fill in the blank spot in today's thing. Okay. So as we move to guess a set, it is guess a set. And again, if you're not in there, there is the form that we're filling out as we go along. And the last question, one of the last questions I had is, what team gets the most cards? And this extremely, extremely business. Loon? Wait. Loon de spew baseball historians. Jeez, Loon de spell. Oh, Char. The Kansas City Monarchs had the most cards in PT23 and PT24. Of course, that is a thing. The Monarchs are known for having some of the best players winning lots of championships in their day. But they aren't the most so far, although they're tied for second most cards so far. I'm just a dog. The Birmingham Black Barons, of course, we had the Rickwood Field Black Barons set that we had for set 3, so that's why they're through the roof as far as number of cards so far. We've had an underrepresentation for the Chicago American Giants, also an early big team in the Negro Leagues. Of course, Spore's favorite, Detroit Stars. There's always some Detroit going on. I think that's the uniform he wears. You worked for the U.S. Army Dental Corps for 38 years? BD Cable? That's cool. I mean, did you know that you had a Negro League baseball player that was in part of it? How cool is that? I do like the Star uniforms. Like, this is one, if I'm up in Cooperstown next week, this is why I love this game. I would never have looked that up with this game. That would be fun to get a Monarchs and the Barons as new MLB franchises. The Tennessee Barons, the Memphis Monarchs. Could happen. It's EBC and NYC. That's why I have sirens in my chat, because there's often sirens and I hear one coming. And I do have a new chat command if I can just find my mouse. It's NYC, baby. Bringing the sound of the city and lovely for you, not the smells. Thank you, Flying WV back. We've got the Homestead Grays, St. Louis Stars, Indianapolis ABCs, the Philadelphia Phillies. Save it for a beginning of a stream so you get the most bang for the buck. You want me to wear a hat on PTCS Saturday, so I have to wear a hat all freaking day. The Newark Eagles, Baltimore Elite Giants, the Pittsburgh Crawfords in their bus down there, which I love. This is the Elite Giants logo, which I turn around and do the PTE lights with when we get to there. Okay. Hat it is. Fox Hill. I didn't know you could do that. This question overall for just set 4. This is for set 4 only, John Doe. So, Fox Hill, put 3 numbers in that you want me to wear. And then we'll have chat vote on which one for me to wear. So, thank you for spending your and part of Z Pharaoh's number. I love it. Well, thank you for using 50,000 channel points. I appreciate it. Do I have a giant tooth hat? I do not have any dentistry associated headwear in my presence, unfortunately. We do need a taco hat at some point. I did wear a hat into Taco Bell in okay, 5, 11, 7, and 8 Okay, so polls, manage polls, new poll. Which hat? It's 5, which is the purple tam, I think. 7, which is the Patagonia hat from our trip to Patagonia. And 8, the sad Viking horns hat. Okay, and you can vote as many times as you want starting now. The poll is live. And now I need to go through the wonderful bag of hats and find these things. Oh, what is that living in my hat? That something just crawled. Not excited about that. Okay, I found the Patagonia hat. Where's the Patagonia hat? Got that. And oh, where are the horns? Of course. My family knows when I've streamed when that floor is strewn with hats. We've got that's the Patagonia hat. We've got the sad horns hat, which we have not worn in a while, and that is pretty sad. That only has 6 votes so far. The Patagonia hat seems to be way in the lead, unless the purple tam comes through. I do have the purple tam here. Those horns have never been hookemed. And we've got the purple tam going there, which kind of fits the plaid in the shirt today. So this poll's going, about a minute left to go on this one. Thanks for hanging out here today. And thank you again, Z Farrell, for making me wear a hat and Foxhole did. It's sad Vikings. Well, it's looking pretty much like the Patagonia hats running away with this one. 92% of the vote. Okay. Foxhill Diem. You again, you got the Patagonia hat in a landslide. But since you got a little assist from Z Farrow, I gotta figure out where the back is. Where's the back? There's the back. There we go. The Patagonia hat. It is. I'll be wearing that for the rest of the stream. So the question I have for you. 92%, just a little bit. How do you want me to wear this? There are multiple ways of wearing this. You can, we can wear this down. You know, I can kind of make it like that. We can wear it mushroom type, like that. We can angle it. So I think that's up to you of which way you want to do it, Z Farrell, because I think Z Farrell is the one that helped you on that one. So thank you all. Mushroom it is. Mushroom it is. Mushroom. I got a little dewy up here. You gotta like that. Thank you for making me wear a hat. The mushrooms have it. So we are on this question, which team will have the most cards in this week's Negro League set? That's question 5. So, which of these wonderful teams? And again, you might choose somebody else completely off the map. EBC Toad. There you go. I love my community. You guys are awesome. Thank you. The joy of bunk. Speaking of our community, Fussmucker also made the big news, had me photoshopped into the big photo earlier on in the presentation. He also did this rendition of me painting little bunk beds. And I have been, when we've done Negro League sets so far this year, and again, I was traveling for set 3, but for sets 1 and set 2, I had some picks that I thought were going to be freaking amazing. I thought these guys are definitely coming in. We're going to get cards for these guys. And I failed. None of them in set 1. And then my second group, none of them for set 2. And so the bunk is just piling up. None of these cards that I picked have gotten a card yet. Of the 93 we have, none of these cards have gotten it. And we'll just see if we keep on just going. So set 1, I guess some community favorites. Jelly Gardner, Chet Brewer, Bruce Petway, and I like the Valentine Drake and the Carlos Royer. And if you watch those streams, I did a little write-ups on each of those guys, just like I did on some today. And none of them got any card yet. So this week, how many of these do you think are going to get a card? You're probably good at just putting 0, because that's pretty much what's happened today. So which one's going to get a card, and how many points is that? Just 1 point if you get that right. And then for set 2, I guessed Andy Cooper, Newt Allen, Martin Dehigo, Quincy Troop, and I love Timor Butts. The more and more, I think there's a Butts joke in here somewhere. I think I have that. Let's see. Can I find that without making things insane? Where can I find? Twitch. Not Seymour. I think there's a clip of mine where I talked about, the more I read about him, the more I fell in love with Butts. Wildcat Bandit, thank you so much for the sub. 21 months! Insane. Thank you, my friend. Let's see. Content. Clips. Okay, got it. Get off my screen. I'm telling you, nothing easy. Clips of clip by. I know Spore clipped this. Here we go. Nope, that's deep in the heart of Texas. There we go. And how do I get to it? Let's see. I'm telling you, nothing's easy. I don't know. Maybe it's easier if I do it here. You can hear the audio for yourself. I don't seem to get the audio working on this. Anyway, Tommy Butts, one of my picks to click last week, or last in set 2, did not come to fruition. So how many of these guys, 0 to 5, will get a card this week? Again, knowing my luck, I'd go with zeros for all these guys. And then this week's bunk. Oh, it was on mute in the bottom corner. Was that the... The more and more I got to learn about, the more I fell in love with Pee Wee Butts. There you go. There you go. Yes. Duly embarrassing moments caught forever. So this week's bunk picks, choose one of these guys. If they do not get a card, you get 3 points. So you have to guess which one I am so far off on will definitely not get a point. If you say none get a card and none get a card, that's fine, but you only get 1 point. I want you to go out on a limb and choose someone that you don't think is going to get a card. Now, I've talked about Layman Yoakley. I've talked about Claude Greer. I talked about Fleet Walker. I left both dentists off. So... No, I like Pee Wee Butts. I think he's great. I thought I'd throw in some other big names we've had in the past. Cycle after cycle. Rats Henderson, don't have a card yet, and Spotswood Poles. 2 players that, from a name game standpoint alone, are always fun. And again, both have great memories of these past cards and past cycles. So looking forward to some of that. So which of these are bunk in this week's Guess the Set? And you can win 3 points if you guess which one it is. So there you go. And that is our picks for the week. So if you haven't gotten in yet, get in on the form. There's the form. And join me tomorrow for the Three Amigos pre-twipped hype show. The foundation has been set. So we've got, again, more Fussmarker work here. And would love to have you stopping by tomorrow on laptop stream so we can go and show who's winning. We have the Three Amigos. I also have, thank you, Machia Pet, the Three Amigos emote. I think I do have also now the One Amigo. So there's the Three Amigos and the One Amigo. So much nightmare fuel all over the place. What can you do? To have little tiny laptops flying across the screen at the same time. Nothing but fun. Want to thank all the people who subscribe to the channel. You guys are awesome. I just want to give a shout out to all my subs. And that's it for Guess the Set this week, guys. The Mushroom Head, but I'll stick around until 2 o'clock. We can figure out what we want to do. The PTCS stuff come up? You just noticed the belt? Yeah. There's a little Fussmucker head on it. Yeah. Fussmucker finds his way into a lot of these now. Yeah, that's Fussmucker's face. Again, we'll be on Laptop's channel tomorrow at 11. We'll be doing Rip It Back Up a little early with some PTCS special drops. Have the PTCS come up yet? Yo Dodger Bob, thank you again for subbing. 19 months now. Also, Yo Dodger Bob, thank you for the 5 gift subs over this month. Fussmucker in the house. We'll be back on Monday at 9 a.m. for a live card update. The post live update, we'll be doing the live card sheet. If you haven't seen the live card sheet, you can see all the past updates that we've had and see what's happening, who's moving up and down. And then next week, I think we'll be at the same bat time, same bat channel. Just a question of timing, because I'll be up in Cooperstown and getting the lay of the land there, our first day up there. So lunchtime next week, come hang out. And PTCS formats. So what was the open question? This is what's happening this week for PTCS. Backtroppapalooza is back. Thanks to OTP. Thank you to Nico for setting this up. There'll be specific streamers, and I didn't get this right, so let me, I've got it auto updated now, but not in every slide. So let's just update this of what's happening, and I'll be updating this as we go throughout the week. So if you want to check out what's happening this week, you get the full screen presentation. PTCS 6 viewer guide is here. We'll have special drops for specific affiliates on Saturday. So here's how it works. You know how it works every day, right? You've got the mothership, it's got drops, and you've got affiliates you're going to max of 5 drops on. That's not changing. That's typically how that works. That's going to be available. But certain affiliates will have additional drops, up to 2 hours of drops, 15, 30, 45, and 60 minutes for the standard packs, silver packs at 90 and 120 minutes. That's Cheeky, Don't Cut the D-Block Dragon, EVC and NYC2. That's me, Laptop Hound, Max LP, Minerva, and Spore will be streaming on Saturday. And you can get additional drops, right? So the max you could get, if somehow it would work, you could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players times 6 would be 42 packs, plus the normal 10 that you get a day would be 52 packs. Now, the issue is, you can't watch multiple people at the same time. So you're going to have to make a choice of who you're going to watch to maximize that out. I would suggest if you're trying to maximize packs, watch everybody for about an hour to get your 15-minute packs. Stack those many of those you can, and then wait for your half hour for whoever's still alive. Who's going to go deep? Who's not going to go deep? Who knows? I definitely got that wrong last time. But again, also join me early. I'll do Rip a Pack a Palooza on Saturday with ripping packs. So you can earn some packs that way, as well as getting pack drops. And then, move along. And this is what we've got so far as people qualifying behind my big fat head. Spores also qualified for the PD Daily and the PD Weekly. But D-Block's in 5, I'm in 5, Laptop Hounds in 3, Max LP is later. And Minerva has got 4, and Spores in 6. So the odds are that Spore would be the longest, right? Cheeky's also going to be streaming. I don't know what time or what he's qualified yet. I'll update this sheet again. As I said, you can see that link there. Save it, bookmark it, and you can see what the schedule is. We'll keep it alive. And as people get out, I'll put a little cross skull and bones there so people can go through. You can relate to Cheeky the most with the zeros? No, he qualified for something. He qualified for something. And again, I'm doing it. I've got different accounts doing it, right? And I just realized that I have not been plugged in. And I'm almost out of power. How about that? Saved by the bell. Seawit is going to be away in the morning. He does not plan on streaming, though he might. So word is out right now he's not planning on it. But he has qualified many. So we'll see what happens. Is the mushroom holding up? I don't know. You'd have the most entries on the table? Are you across all of them? I mean, you should just... I guess you're not going to be able to, huh? Don't you? Can you stream for like the first hour before the kids really wake up? Or they're up at 8, right? Well, you could be like Laptop. Like I said, Laptop is going to be doing something different this week. He's going to be doing a post-game wrap-up. So he's not going to be streaming live while everyone else is. He's going to save those sweet extra affiliate drops for you later in the evening. So that is a little bit different this time. Yes, double dipping doesn't count on it. I double dipped in Iron on 2 different teams, and unexpectedly so. I have one team just doing Iron. Not enough combis. I think I have 1 combi. That's it. So, knowing that, you should plan accordingly. Watch me first because I'll be out faster. Right? I have no combis. Duncan Varga has 3 teams in bronze. So there you go. So that's what's happening on Saturday. Come check it out. 5-on-1 teams. E Farrell, all props to you, my friend. That is spectacular work. That is spectacular work. That is not an easy thing to do. So mad props to you, my friend. Speaking of which, are the PTCS tournaments live yet? Perfect Draft Weekly, Tourney Weekly, Diamond, Open, and Wildcard. Very nice. I'm not going to actually take the hat off because it's been paid for. Let's go take a look in the game. Are things live yet? I don't know. Yeah, the Open. I'm almost fine at 500 in Diamond League this week. Definitely struggling this week. We had a crazy league last week that I got all the way to the playoffs into the LCS and lost. And I beat Max Oysters to get the LCS, but did not get further. And Spore was in that league last week. I haven't even looked around this league this week. The Novi Expos, who came second in the Daily Bagels and Schmear last month. And not a lot of names I know in this league. And I don't think any Perfect League winners in this league, but I'm still under 500, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't think any perfect league winners. So just what happened, I was in a league with a ton of perfect league winners last week and got to the playoffs, and now I'm in a league without any perfect league winners and nothing happening. An ugly 500. So who knows? Is that B-Dub 30 cent? Is that the Novi Expos? Nice. Maurer at leadoff. Bold. Pedro to Nana Webb. Is that the... Yep. Diamond bronze. And James Paxton was amazing last week, and I think he's pretty pedestrian this week. I don't know what to say. No, my Paxton, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my Paxton, but he's been solid in Diamond League. 330, 330, 303 ERA last 3 seasons. He's pitching better than Pedro this week, so go figure. I'm constantly trying to figure out, like every week, certain players are up or certain down and playing around with which ones are you going to do it. Let's go see what else is going on here. Do we have PTCS in yet? No, we do not. And my golds, I don't know what's going on in my gold tourneys, but I am definitely not doing great lately. Qualified, but not doing great. I really need to redo some of the tourney teams. Let's see. We covered a little bit of our daily bagels and schmear winners so far this month. And I need to get into that draft. But our daily results, again, here's the Novi Expos. Sparty Terp squad. 1 point away from winning this last week in the bagels and schmear. For September so far, the Oxford Pirates, the Madtown Socialists, and the Atlanta Black Stars of AW has won. And then let's do real. And our daily results so far in the expansion draft. The Orange City White Sox, Coach Weedy, I apologize. Look at this. You win the day at the end of September and the first is at end of August and the first day in September. And if you're just 1 day different, you would have had 2 wins already in the month of September. But it's split between the 2 months. There's Kitty Poo Poo's Atlanta Thrashers coming back again. Eddie Wanton, is that you? The Madtown Socialists? Yes, that's Clay Dog. Happy Wednesday, Jacket. You got to round 3 in both the bagels and schmear and the 5L today. Nice. Let's go see what's going on in the bagels and schmear. I think I got eliminated immediately. But yeah, Clay Dog there winning yesterday over Rob Deere in the headlights. The Orange County Viking Kings of Kazarak, 2 days in the 3-4. There's Eddie Wanton with his Los Angeles Warriors coming through. You got a standings point. That's right. Franchise Time Machine. You've gotten one before. Let's see. Franchise. I think you've gotten one before. You've gotten 4 points. You got a 3rd, 4th place. A 2nd place last month. So again, that is in the West Coast expansion draft, which goes on 6 p.m. or so each day. Perfect draft. So let's go in. I'm going to go and switch on over and see what's going on in today's bagels and schmear. And the bagels and schmear is where we first started playing without a DH in the Polo Grounds. So those of you who played that pretty much in the month of July, it was in the Polo Grounds every single day before we started rotating different New York stadiums this month. And and a little tangent hogging. Okay, so I need to get in on today's bagel, tomorrow's bagels and schmear. Perfect drafts. Perfect drafts. And the bagels and schmear should have showed up right here. The daily bagels and schmear with EVC and NYC. And again, the more you win, the more points you get. So if every first place is worth 5 points, second place, 3rd points. And we'll take a look at today's bagels and schmear and where we are as we do September. So we do monthly contests. And if you're able to get the most in the month of September, then you'll walk away with 20 packs. I was beaten in 3 straight games, swept by the Hardwood City Rock Cats of Zed, pronounced Zed. And yeah, easy pickings. And but he faced off, and that is our good friend Minerva's squad. And then Hell's Kitchen beat Minerva. And Sugarland now leads the series. So let's take a look at the tournament treat. Right now it is the Daredevils versus, well, let's go do it this way because it's easier to see. We're down to our final 8. The Hell's Kitchen Daredevils is down to the Sugarland Space Cowboys. The Brooklyn Dinger Hitters is up 2-0 over the Edo Giants. The Timpston Tornadoes are down 2 games to the Montreal Commanders. And the Black Knights pack-only squad is up 2-0 over the Chicago Sloths. So we have deciding games 3s coming up. Let's see, today, and today. Possibly we'll have our final 4 set for the daily bagels and schmear. Is anybody here for any of these 8 teams? We can maybe actually stream the game if you want. And, oh, wow. Another great picture that Spore found, which I need to, like, show up on screen here. That same Columbus Bluebirds. That's Cool Papa Bell, apparently. Oh, it's Cool Papa Bell here with Candy. Jim Taylor is the manager. Very cool. I love that. That's a great photo. That's a great photo. Right? Candy Jim and Cool Papa Bell. I was cool. I don't know why I think of, like, I don't think I've seen a picture of Cool Papa Bell that young. Very, very cool. Very fun. Yeah, no, we've got a couple different theme teams coming through. I haven't given props to the brand new theme teams, but let's go do some of that. We have some brand new theme teams coming through. Again, we've been so blessed by OTP giving us the friends list. It makes it so much easier now to do theme teams each week. And so I'm gonna go through and highlight some of the brand new theme teams. I'll do a more robust version of this with, like, different details, but let me get this set up. Okay, here we go. Brand new theme teams that are coming just this week. Arlihan, St. Louis Grey Dogs, players from the St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Browns, or the Negro League Stars. Texas Rangers TTC, in honor of the World Series victory. Only cards that PT card is the Texas Rangers, which is hard. That's Nolan Ryan 34's team, of course. The Westport Orioles, 2024 Baltimore Orioles players for Bat Boy Forever. The Perturk, all fours, Cobb and Rose and everyone else with 4 letters in the name. Flash is running that one. The Olympic medalists by Olympic Medalists TCC. All players must have won an Olympic medal. So that Jim Thorpe we got yesterday, the treasure trove, will be of help. The Cardiff Kooks. By the way, Cardiff is a place in San Diego. Cheeky is a big Padres fan. He's doing anyone who's ever played for the Padres. It may include Padres minor leagues as well. Yeah, Olympic medalist. I was thinking of you when I saw the Thorpe card that came out yesterday, the throwback. That's the first throwback I've seen in a while. And definitely thought of you. The New York, New Jersey Metro Scoots. Players born in the states of New York or New Jersey. Jay Shops is getting that one run. Chess has got a couple new ones. He's probably figuring out the themes yet. I think he's going to do one that's players whose names are some of the marathon winners, the Boston Marathon. He ran that once. We saw Dr. Dynastic live on stream earlier this week getting his teammates of Eddie Murphy. He's got a theme team. He's going to be working on a theme. All players who were teammates of Eddie Murphy. Excuse me, Eddie Murphy. There you go. Eddie Matthews. I think he said the same thing during his stream too. Is there something about Ed M that you automatically think of Eddie Murphy for some reason? Are we just so stuck in Beverly Hills Cop world? The teammates of Eddie Matthews. I think he's going to extend it. He's going to do teammates of Warren Spahn. But we were also thinking that he could do... What was the other thing we thought he could do? Because Eddie Matthews did not have a lot of great pitchers that were teammates of his. And so the other thing we thought we could do, and again, this is the thing when you're looking at a specific theme and trying to figure out, he was thinking it would just be teams Eddie Matthews, but you could do any player with a card year during the years of Eddie Matthews' career. So it's Eddie Matthews and friends, so it's his teammates, plus anybody who had a card from his career. Now, unfortunately, his career ended in 1968, so all those 1969 cards that came out last week, which would be great for him, do not match. So that's the only drawback of that, but might give him a couple more players to play with. TB8488's got his Blue Jays players, the Grand Bay Jays theme team running. Coming back for another season, Jacket 1515's got his Sugar High TTC. All players with names or nicknames align with sweet treats. Each treat can have 1 player per. So for the Charleston Chew candy bar, he can have Oscar Charleston, but he can't use it for any other Charles. And then the Ormage Crush 24, players that have played for the Colorado Rockies. This is one of those themes that is so rough. But hats off to anyone who runs a Rockies theme team, because I know how tough that is to do. And again, if you want to expand it, because it's limited, you could also potentially add players who were born in the Denver area or in Colorado in general, and use that as a way to extend it if you don't have enough for your team. So again, those are just some of the fun theme teams that are coming in this coming week. And I'll try to do more highlights of these guys in the coming weeks. But again, if you want to join and get a theme team going, now you don't have to update the friends list every Sunday. So it makes it super, super easy. So thank you all for taking part in that. Okay, let's see if we've got the Sims in yet for the Daily Bagels and Schmear. And I will probably draft my Daily Bagels and Schmear. Let's go take a look and see if we've got our final 4 set, or does somebody force a game 4? We've got nothing yet. It's still simming. Well, there you go. Okay. Well, I'm going to go draft this. We don't have PTCSs coming in yet, so we can't start doing some roster building. I'm very excited to do the Polo Grounds. It is a unique stadium with its kind of bathtub shape to it. And you're going to need just an amazing center fielder and figure out. Now, we were talking about this a little bit on D-Block stream. And again, if you guys don't follow D-Block, you should do that. Let's see if I can do this in a proper way. Shout out. Don't cut the D Block Dragon. Make sure you go follow him. I can type and talk. Not really. But always doing some analysis. We're talking about this tournament, and again, if you can get a guy who hit home runs into the corners, that's great. I was having a hard time conceptualizing the type of players. And yesterday we were talking about, again, home run hitters that are spray hitters versus normal. Does that sound right to you guys? Like, I'm trying to figure out, how do I get guys who are going to hit home runs into, the corner? Now, I see pull hitters on ground balls, but I'm not sure about that. Fox Hill, get on in. Make a team. It'll be fun. And you get in the league play each week, and you've got something to kind of like go for that's not necessarily, not everyone can get in the perfect league, right? So we'd love to have you in the theme team crew and get the team championship. So I'm always trying to figure out, like, okay, I know what I want to do. What's the right player makeup for it? Fly ball tendency, outfield pull. I didn't think there were is there outfield pull? Are there pull hitters for fly ball tendency? Maybe. Like, again, I'm feeling dopey at the moment. Okay. This is the Daily Bagels and Schmear. Today we are playing in Ebbets Field 1955. Again, a little shorter corners, not as big an outfield. A little bit skewed towards... Also, stupid question here. Even I have these stupid questions. Is this V right, V left, or V left, V right? Because it doesn't stay, and I can't remember because different parts of OTP have V left first and then V right first, and I just don't know. It's V left and then V right. Okay. Thank you. So it favors the V right home run hitter, a little bit more favorable for V left hitters. Thank you. Again, that's why I enjoy streaming with you guys, because you definitely help me when I'm not thinking things through. So, Bill Dickey, Eddie Matthews. I can get away with about 9 pitchers. I usually don't take a catcher this early, and I like this offense a lot. So I'm just going to go with Eddie Matthews. Eddie Matthews is a pull hitter for ground ball tendency. This is why I got confused. So you need to be a batted ball profile of a pull hitter and then a fly ball tendency of fly ball versus normal. And that's what you're looking for. Right. Oh, on batted ball profile of fly ball and fly ball tendency of pull. Okay. So I don't think anyone else has something like that. Spray hitter, pull hitter ground. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go through and look at the database and pull some stuff and figure that out. Thanks, eFarrow, because I am definitely, like, again, I know what I want to do, and I'm just trying to figure out how I interpret it. So batted ball profile, fly ball, and fly ball tendency pull. And I got to see what we got for those. Okay, so Eddie Matthews, we're going to start with that for this one. And not loving this round. Going to go with Pujols, I think. You want to pull the cans of corn. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's that Randy Johnson. Very nice. Home run allowed. Helpful. Some balls will get in play. Okay. I usually just start getting some pitchers here. Not excited by Gary Nolan. I'll take a reliever or 2 or 3. And the Johan with the home run allowed doesn't make me excited. So I'm going to take the 2 relievers there. That's right. Guess the set is still open. I will show off the brand new Kurt Flood from yesterday. I see this shiny item and I want it. 122 defense and center field. I will run with it, and we'll take a Verlander. I need a starter. Not excited by his control, but what am I gonna do? Okay. Pitching is super light here. I've not really gotten any good starting pitchers. Wow. That makes it tough. Orlando Cepeda. Am I really taking Jerry Roaster? Is he really taking Royster? Does he know that Jerry can't hit balls at all? Is he really taking Royster? If my eyes don't deceive me, I think he's taking Royster right here. Sorry, every now and then I have to go out and song. Still no great pitching. Rick Honeycutt. Am I taking a Holiday or I'm taking Hegan? I know, I'm sorry, Eddie. 78, 133. Better for power, V right. 96, 95. I'm gonna go with Holiday. Better than Lap. Does Lap is Lap actually song? I guess he has songs. But yeah, I think in a singing contest, I might do better than Lap. Not that anyone here wants that said contest, but I'm here to ruin all the songs of your past. I am not loving my pitching options. He played a song about, oh yes, the oysters or the like, is it a learning thing or something like that? I really don't like learning. Center field, Kurt Flood is center field only. Tommy Agee has decent split speed left, but this is no DH, so I'm not going to play him a lot. So I'd rather spend a higher pick on a player that I'm going to play in a position right now than a guy off the bench. And because Flood can't play any of the position, I don't have a lot of flexibility. So it's Geyer, who's not a great right fielder either. Man, I am feeling less than enamored. Round 9. Do me proper here. Give me some starters. Cloyd Boyer. Bill Hands. Come on down. Don't face any lefties. Bill Hands made a whole thing propping him up for a guess to set, and he already had this card in the game, which I was bummed. Okay, so we've gotten so far. We've got 5 starting pitchers. I don't think any of them are very good. The bunk picks. I've got 12 minutes. I can show you the bunk picks. This is this week's bunk picks. Layman Yoakley, Claude Greer, Fleet Walker, Rats Henderson, or Spotswood Poles. Which one is not going to get a card this week on Guess the Set? If you're just joining us and you want to get in on Guess the Set, you can just do exclamation point guess, and we'll go from there. I still need 2 catchers. I totally forgot about catchers. Thank you. Thank you. There's only 2 left, so I will need to pull one of those. I'm going to take Arnold Carter, and I need a real right fielder. I don't have one right now. and there are none here. And we've seen all 10 right fielders, so I am in. Do you ever, anyone ever tell you that doing drafts while chatting and streaming might be bad? Wow, I love how three-ways are no longer allowed. Thanks, Tex Jenks. There are 6 second basemen coming and 1 shortstop. So let me go take Paul DeJong here. So I've got 4 shortstops coming and some pitching, but no more right fielders. And Ron Gant can't play right. Yeah, backup infield would be helpful. Okay, we got a catcher here. We have to go with Matt Noakes. Could be worse. Can anybody play right field? Not great, but in a pinch with no right fielders, I'm going to take that, even though I should take my 10th pitcher here. No worries, no worries. Take your time. Billy Hamilton is kind of a fun card as well. Can steal some bases, and looks like he's going to be my right fielder right now. Okay, I need to take no catchers here. Bill Fisher, Andy Hansen. Vandermeer can't. I was going to walk everybody. Going to give up home runs. Okay, 10th pitcher acquired for 1965. And backup infield, yes, okay. Second and short, I need second and third, actually. McAuliffe, you can play some third in a pinch. 53. I do have a beep beep emote if you want to use it. That is a horrid looking Babbitt. Is there going to be a third baseman in the last round? Yes. Let's go take Andy Cohen. Thank you, Franchise Time Machine. Okay, Bob Stinson is our last-ditch catcher, which I totally forgot to draft. So someone's going to get a wonderful bye in the first round. Reno. Oh, not a great bat on Reno. Got some Babbitt, little Ivy left at least, and my backup third baseman. Ken Hubbs, you can play some second. And I think Jim Eisenreich. And I have a choice between, we don't need any pitchers now. So it's either Bob Beschler, 59 contact, 65 Babbitt, or the Shawana meter, which maybe just for base stealing, but and just checking my lineups. Oh, I need a first baseman. Wow. I need a first baseman and someone else who can play right. That is just, that's why we do these things. He can play right in a pinch. Okay. Can he play first? He can. Great. Second, catcher only. Second, third, short. Okay. I think we're going to go with that. This was not a very good draft. Not a supreme draft. Got my preset strategies. I'm pretty much using sabermetric, adding a couple other things in some fatigue management here and running with that. Yes, the common pitfalls: forgetting backup infielders, forgetting catchers, focusing on pitchers and not getting any that have the home run allowed and control that you're looking for. Again, only one pitcher with control below the 70s, so okay, and not as bad as it seemed at the time. Not a lot of stamina on Rick Honeycutt. The AI thinks Randy Johnson, of course, is the ace. I would concur with that. Justin Verlander over Beasley, yes. Over Hands. Yeah, the splittiness on Hands is not great. He's great v right, not great v left. And over Verlander, yeah. I think that's in the Honeycutt, who has a low stamina. Yeah, it's 98, 85, 75. Yeah, Carter's actually better than Beasley. You are absolutely correct. And Buddy Groom as the stopper makes sense. Buddy Groom is a stopper. Actually, Mike Maddox is a stopper. He's got better stamina. And we'll just put him in a relief. Use more often. Okay. Thank you, John Doe. That was a good call. That's scary, isn't it? That BABIP at 39. Oof. Okay, that is a very rough pitching squad. Lineups wise, again, I like to use batting ratings. I've set up my own, basically batting right and then left. So I'm doing it the opposite. I use some strategies I've got from this book by Tom Tango, book of baseball. So it's like, you know, playing baseball by the book. Do I have this link? I do. And it uses stats to analyze like what people typically do during gameplay. And so some of the things they talk about is like your best hitter in the number 2 and 4. So let's take a look at some of this stuff. Billy Hamilton as a leadoff hitter, yes, please, 106-17, stealing aggressiveness and ability. Speedy dude at the top of the lineup with nice eye and a void K, gonna get on base. Having high gap player in the 2 hole. I'm not, I'm not holding on to everything. I'm making some choices of some live cards that I think are not going up, but you'll do better than I will in spec for this coming week. So I like a Tommy Agee here. They basically say someone with good doubles power, a good hitter with doubles power, and strikeouts are okay because if they strike out, they're not going to hit in a double play. They need speed so that you don't ground into double play. So a speedy player there is going to get to first fast. And the eye is nice for walks, but if you don't have it, again, he may not be my second best hitter overall. That might be more like a Matt Halliday. But right now, Matt Holliday is sitting for Tommy Agee. Does that make sense? I think I'd rather have Halliday in there than Agee in left. Again, great defense in left for Agee. But I'd rather get the bat, I think. So if Holliday is in the 2 hole, again, better BABIP. Has a little power, but is going to strike out a little bit, and my 3rd best gap on the team. Yeah, I mean, sometimes holding everything is fine, but sometimes something's going to go down a level. Like if you can tell in the store that it's already priced at 4,000, then you probably want to just let it go. Like the market's going to tell you, and you can look at stats. We'll cover that in a moment. My best power hitter. I look at power and I together. Got Matty Matthews. A-Rod's the closest next on the list. Maybe Pujols here. So I'm put Matthews in the 3 spot. Kurt Flood. Where did Kurt Flood? I miss Kurt Flood on this. Kurt Flood might be a good number 2 hitter. The only problem is that the strikeouts, he's not going to strike out a lot. So the chances in, but with so much speed, I kind of like that. Kurt Flood here. So Billy Hamilton, Kurt Flood, Eddie Matthews, and then probably Matt Holliday. Over, and then Pujols, then A-Rod, then Pujols. I don't know, A-Rod might be the better. And again, I'm not doing lefty, righty, lefty. Ooh, the PTCS have shown up. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to submit this. I should come back to this since I put Matt Holliday in. I should put Tommy Agee in here. I should put Tommy Agee as my defensive replacement for late innings. Submit. And then for left, it's definitely Agee over Holliday. Again, Billy Hamilton, Kurt Flood, Power and I, Matthews, Agee, Pujols. Matthews, Pujols, Agee. And then they also talk about, you know, if you're at the bottom of the order, find someone who's got some speed at the bottom of the order. And they also show the numbers that, you know, having the pitcher bat 8th, especially in a DH park when you're bringing someone off your bench, makes a lot of sense. So that's from the book. Harak Attack. That's why I don't do combis. It's just so depressing to lose that many in a row. Okay. To me, the team submitted. And the PTCS is up. PTCS Iron. Me with no combis. So I'm going to import my normal Iron rostered. And what we have to think about for this is that it's 1922. Excuse me, 1922. No designated hitter. The Polo Grounds is which is the yeah, I typically go to 66. Okay, excellent. We'll be walking on the OTB development. So I'm going to rate on over. We'll be playing around with this a little bit more on our own. There are some of the new PTCS cards that will be available. Elmer Smith, John McGraw, Chicken Wolf. Lots of fun stuff. Again, thank you everyone for hanging out today. If you haven't gotten a chance, if you're just joining us, we're going to switch you on over to the mothership. Get in for Guess the Set. This is your last chance, not your last chance, but get in for Guess the Set. You have a chance to win some packs. Just guess what we're gonna get in cards tomorrow. Here's the bunk slide, so screenshot that one. And let's take you on over the mothership to get your drops. Before we do that though, just want to say some thank yous, if I can actually find my mouse. Yo Dodger Bob resubbing with Prime now for 19 months. Wildcat Bandit 21 months. Uh, uh, Red Sox, Sooks for following me. Harris Bueller, Olympic medalist. Gabaluigi for 28 months. I want to thank Don't Get the D Block Dragon for rating in this morning with 265 viewers. And I want to thank, where'd it go? It showed me before. Fox Hill Dim, thank you so much for making me wear a hat today. Making me wear the mushroom size. So there you go. Always appreciate you guys for coming in and hanging out today. We'll do Guess the Set again next week. Winners will be announced on Saturday, part of our Twitch streaming fun that's going on. And let's go get that raid started. Same category. And get you onto the mothership. And if you're following this mothership, he's going to make sure you get everything on this raid. So here it comes. Thank you guys again for hanging out today. And I'll see you on Saturday, PTCS. Check out the PTCS 6. Link there for all the times and who's got extra drops and the whole shebang. And there we go.